Good evening. This is Ryan Martz, founder of Martz Leadership Services, driving right now. So thank you for tuning in, or whenever you check this out. Tonight we're talking about transcending time. A couple components, not going real deep with it, but here's the thing. In the eventuality of time, all things are made right. So a lot of our energy, as we all know, is spent on things that are, it's like, it stresses us out for a while, and 2 days it corrects itself, and you move on, right? And you're like, and then you're stressed out about something else, and it's just like, the Chuck E. Cheese game. You hit something down, then something else pops up. You got to pound that sucker down, and that's how it goes, right? That's just human nature. It's our culture, at least in the U.S. primarily. So, of course, when we step back from that, most of us know that, you live very long. In the eventuality of time, all things work themselves out. And even greater than we may realize when you start talking about a long period of time, even if you get into the concept of eternity, or a span of entire life, or generations of a family or organization, or whatever it might be that you're involved in. In the eventuality of time, truth becomes truth, and if it's not truth, it just won't stand. So, one message I want to say first off to, some of the young women leaders, young men leaders who might listen to this, whether you're an entrepreneur, working through your education timeline, a ministry leader, a coach, management leadership position, a mother, a father, just leading your own self as an individual. We have got to have a death grip on our core values. No doubt, death grip. Like that there's unmovable, core values that are unshakable, that's where we put our energy. And everything else, people misunderstanding us, people lying on us looking a certain way, us not looking a certain way. Maybe you've gone through bankruptcy. Maybe you've lost X amount of jobs. Maybe you've gotten fired. Maybe you didn't make the basketball team. Maybe you had this heartbreak, that heartbreak. Maybe someone lied on you. Maybe you went through a horrible relationship. Maybe people talked bad about you. Maybe friends turned their back on you. We've all, as you live this life, you experience certain components of these things, if not them all. And the reality is, the absolute reality is, in the eventuality of time, hey, it's all going to work out. It's all going to work out. Let's just do a simple example here. Let's say, you have a core value. I don't know what it is. You treated a person right to the best of your ability. You're not perfect, but, you didn't have any malintent. Something was turned around on you. You find out you were lied on. Someone said something to somebody. And there's some efforts. Sometimes, communication goes a long way in reconciliation. We're making things right in the business place, relationships, talking, communication, emotional intelligence, and all that type of a topic and conversation piece. But as much as, we definitely want to communicate and address within the power that seems right to address things, at the same time, eventually, it's like, hey, if you're true to your own core, if you know in the intent of your heart, and you can accept your failures, you can accept your own shortcomings, you can take ownership completely for yourself. And your expectation is of yourself, as opposed to, what someone else may or may not do, how they may or may not respond. That's a beautiful thing. When you can learn to have your mind operate in a sensible fashion when things are getting thrown at you. When your emotional system can remain composed and poised when there's chaos all around you. So you can have something calm around you, and if you got chaos inside of you, it's going to look like everything is chaotic around you. Also you can be poised inside. Your water can be calm, so to speak, and everything around you can be chaotic, yet somehow you're seeming to have a little jump in your step when you shouldn't be, it seems like, to other people. Or you got a song in your heart when everything else is downcast and rough going, and you can, like they say, sing in the rain, so to speak. So now going back to that original topic, so we got this point here, that the point is, if you have a death grip on core values in your own system, your own emotional well-being, your mental, all that jazz, you got a death grip on your core values, you take ownership of your own failures, and you try to have the right intent of the heart. Here's the thing. You just got to let time be your friend. Let time be your friend. And if you don't remember anything else before I go into the second point, hey, in the eventuality of time, all things will be made right. Hey, it will. It doesn't matter. So, do what you can within the power that you can. But eventually, hey, let time be your friend. Now, the title of this whole thing was Transcend Your Time, and that's what the purpose was, to talk about here. So with that being said, let time be your friend. There's also this thing sometimes when you start really trying to seek out wisdom, seek out counsel, seek out advice. We learn that there's a lot of science, there's a lot of good information, a lot of good psychology. All these things are like amazing to me. Like, holy cow, like there's just so many great things to read about and all that. But also, when we start to take it extreme where you feel very boxed in by what an article says, to say, well, you will feel like this in 6 months, or you will accomplish this in 18 months, or at 5 years I will do this, and I'm not, you gotta have goals, and there is science to things, and things have to run its course, and hey, nobody goes through puberty in 1 hour, that takes time. Changes take time, growth, development, etc. So, but to be able to transcend time is a unique leadership quality. And you don't have to be in a leadership position to have this, but I'm talking about being able to lead your own self. That you're able to step into this dynamic of vision, innovation, almost like an intuitive mindset, some type of different angle of looking at things. Like if 99 are looking at the same picture, somehow you have a mind that can see the one thing on there that no one else saw. You're able to bring a new slant, a new angle. And that comes from, I may have touched on this before, becoming a voice and not an echo. That comes from being able to hewn out this secret place in your own life where you can feel healthy emotionally and mentally. And like I touched base on before, in our culture, hey, we live emotionally paycheck to paycheck, like a gas tank. Hey, I'm getting paid. Let's put 12 bucks in. Hey, I'm getting paid. Let me put 9 bucks in. And we never fill the tank up all the way. So, typically, you get enough energy and then you have to pour it right back out. And you're never really operating or knowing what it feels like emotionally, physically, psychologically, mentally, whatever, to feel like you're at a full tank. Boy, especially, if you're a young parent, upper 20s, 30s, 40s, whatever, doesn't matter the age, but, when you're rearing a family, you're multitasking, so many, people obviously in my age bracket, holy cow, you've never seen the tank full. Like, it's impossible, right? Like, you're never going to get there. So we all know the realities of life, but here's the thing. If somehow you can manage life instead of it managing you, if somehow you can, teach your brain to be calm when everything else is chaotic, when you learn little habits, little things, here's what wisdom is. It's not a master's degree. And believe me, I'm for education. I've, worked on my graduate program twice, so, it's more than knowledge. That's where time becomes your friend. You know what it's like to use a screwdriver in a certain situation. You may not have to use that screwdriver all the time, but it's in the tool belt, and if a situation calls for a screwdriver, you can pull out the screwdriver and screw the old thing. So look, here's where it's at. Your experiences in life. If you take enough quiet time away in your own life to realize, holy cow, what have I been through? What can I learn from this? I feel this creeping up in myself emotionally. I feel this creeping up mentally. I feel this creeping up in our relationship, in our marriage, maybe in our business management team, in our basketball team. You start to get these recognized signals, like migraine headache. Holy cow, man, I used to have migraine headache so bad. I mean, I just, desperately pleaded to get to the hospital so they could pump IV in me, because I would throw up medicine. I would, and of course, I was young, working like a crazy man, sipping on hot coffee at 95 degrees, running around town, all hot, and just, not taking care of myself, overworking, overheating, blah, blah, blah. But what I learned about migraines, and thank God I don't deal with them anymore. I'm aware of them and I'm conscious of it, but thank God it's not like it used to be. And I really believe I had this divine thing, because man, it was horrible. So, but I say all that to say is scientifically, medically, when you start to read on it, you can actually start to know a migraine is coming on days in advance. It affects your emotional system. It affects whatever. What I'm trying to say with this is, when you start to let time be your friend, you can pull yourself away quietly enough to analyze things that you've been through, and like the old thing is, get better, not bitter. Here's the thing. Those become tools that you can use, tools that then when you see things creeping up in your life, hardship, temptation, stuff against you, stuff out of your control, you can learn, and it almost becomes like this intoxicating game of let me see how I can handle it this time. Let me see how much composure. I might have kept composed 5 minutes of the hour 2 years ago. Hey, shoot! Oh wow! I'm composed now. 15 minutes of the hour. So it becomes this fun, competitive thing within yourself. Of you can see that. You can see. You're not going to be perfect, but you can see those strides that you're making mentally, how you're handling yourself, and basically everything contrary to a microwaved USA system. What you get is perspectives and sparks of thoughts, sparks of feelings that are the 1 compared to the 99. And without transcend time, you can actually make yourself more of an asset to a team or a corporation before your time is due. You can actually make yourself more of a value to a team setting and others. You can turn yourself into a leader before your time has come. You can turn yourself, position yourself, and there was no intention for power or this or that, but because you were able to see angles, function in angles. Here's another example. Bedside manners. You can go to doctor school, medical school for 72 years. I don't really want to go to you unless you have bedside manners. Though that's how a physician is separated. Yeah, you can go to Johns Hopkins, you can go to Duke, you can, go wherever you want. Go to Yale, get a degree, make sure you're board certified, whatever. Hey, but I want some tableside manners. I want some bedside manners. I want to see you coming in and treating my loved one right, loving them. Like you are like our little medical angel in there. So, those doctors who value that component, obviously those are the doctors that everyone talks about. Like you want to keep going back to that guy. You want to keep going back to that lady. So there is an ability, and again, this is way longer. I'm like going circles driving here. So before I run out of gas potentially, here's where it's at. Let's buckle it down to this. You have the ability, without giving you a to-do list of 1, step 2, step 3, you have the ability to transcend time, to transcend the timetables that other people have put on you, to transcend your circumstance, to transcend the mode that your life seems to cycle back through. Here is the conclusion, whatever that word is. I've been driving too long. Conclusion, whatever statement. Look, here's where it's at. Human nature is one leg taller than the other. What happens if one leg is longer than the other? Eventually, you just walk in a circle. You try to walk in a straight line, eventually it's going to be a circle. That's human nature. Every 6 months, you go through the same situation. Every 9 months, you battle the same mental fatigue. Every 3 months, you have the same emotional breakdown. Whatever you're going through, it's all valuable. I'm not trying to downplay it. What I'm trying to illustrate is we all have these things. We all know of things that they just seem to be constants. Like, holy cow, can that thing ever not come back again? And here's the thing. You have the ability to make both legs straight. You have the ability to get things aligned within your own self emotionally, where you can see that line, that pathway, that mowing of the grass. You can look back and see, I've seen that path. I'm on a new line now. I'm moving forward into a different piece of that backyard that I'm mowing. So I just want to encourage you, my friends, that there is amazing ability out there. There is amazing ability within your own self, and there's so much to tap into that I just want to encourage you that no matter what you're going through, no matter what you feel bound by, there is an ability to transcend that concept in your life. And you do not have to wait for a certain timetable. You do not have to wait till the clock strikes 12. You can live still in the present, still in the moment, but it's like you're able to get into a time machine, see and feel in different capacities than others, and that is what makes you a unique leader, my friend. On your basketball team, in your corporation, in your family. That's a difference maker, my friend. So, hey, thanks for joining me. It looks like we're going to have enough gas to get home. So, yeah, hey, thanks so much for your support. The March Leadership Services believes in you, and we'll continue to support in any way we can. International coverage, doesn't matter the situation, where it's at. Contact me, and we'll see what can be arranged. Signing out. Blessings to you.